Welcome, everyone, to the Incredicast podcast. I'm Adam Hurst, here with David Kerrigan. And if you're wondering where the New Hampshire video is, no, aliens didn't abduct it. You know, we talked about how aliens was going to abduct Kevin Harvick, but we didn't mean it like that. We were unable to because of college reasons, had a lot of vacation stuff as well. But we're just going to quickly run down what happened in that video. So, what happened?
It was the big three. That's what happened.
Yeah, Kevin Harvick manages to win his sixth of the season, 7 if you would count the All-Star race. So really impressive by Kevin Harvick. But every time Harvick answers, Kyle Busch also answers because he manages to win Pocono.
Yeah, and I mean, to be fair, the 18, he was in first at New Hampshire. He was leading the way, and Harvick said, well, I saw what you did with the 42, so I'm going to do the same thing. Kevin Harvick wins at New Hampshire. Kyle Busch got second, though, so it's not like, oh, Harvick, you know, hey, 18 was still there. Still a fast car, still the big three. And it happened at Pocono, too. You know, you need great cars, you need good engines at Pocono. And who has better cars than Kevin Harvick, Kyle Busch, and Martin Truex Jr.? Kyle Busch wins at Pocono after Harvick has some issues on pit road. We talk about that with his teammate, the 10 car. Truex was not really there, surprisingly.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like Truex is starting to dial back a lot right now. Like, ever since his Kentucky win, he's just not there. Which is really... I mean, he was leading a few laps at New Hampshire, but Pocono, we saw him last time. He was dominating that race.
Yeah.
It makes you question, is Kevin Harvick and Kyle Busch starting to pull away from Truex just a little bit?
Yeah, and have a little horse race. Which, to be fair, Truex right now, he doesn't have anything to work for. Could be sandbagging, who knows, because the race to be the regular season's champion, that is currently a 2-horse race. Truex is not that far behind. However, in the grand scheme of things, a lot of things would have to happen. Some weird scenarios where both Harvick and Kyle Busch have a bad day, like, you know, 3 races in a row. So that's not happening, you know, hey. So,
yeah,
who knows?
Why don't we have, like, a Final Four for the regular season championship to make that a little bit more interesting?
Don't give Brian France ideas.
Yeah, I'm not. Sorry. That's a terrible... Wait, no.
It's too late.
Brian France doesn't like... He loves terrible ideas. So if I say it's a good idea, then he won't use it. That's
Stage racing is the greatest idea ever.
Yes, we want restrictor plates.
Everywhere. Even at Watkins Glen. My goodness. But... talking about Pocono, what really happened at Pocono? Who was strong? Who was there? Who wasn't? Who was at home?
Well, at the beginning of the weekend, we thought Kevin Harvick was going to have the pole. But then there was this Avengers Infinity War thing that happened where Thanos snapped his fingers and everyone died. And we saw Daniel Suarez get awarded the pole because 13 cars failed inspection. That was...
You would think NASCAR would send out like a PO, you know, something like a DM or whatever, saying, hey, just to let you know, we know when you're cheating in this spot. Because, like, come on. Like, oh, the first 13 cars are now starting in the back. Landon Castle gets pole. No, he didn't get pole. Like, come on, man. I feel like there needs to be something, like, we need to have a lot more communication between NASCAR and the teams and say, hey, don't do this because we know when you're doing it. You know, it's just...
Yeah.
Suarez did not get pole.
In this situation, we had, Tech was after qualifying instead of before like it normally is, but they're trying this new thing where...
Oh, boy.
Tech is happening after qualifying, so if it's before qualifying, you can fail it 3 times and still make a qualifying effort.
Yeah.
Well, but in this scenario, if you fail it even half a time, that you're just in the back now.
Yeah. Well, you need to have your lunch first before you can swim.
Yeah. So 13 people went swimming. And then during the race, we saw Kevin Harvick get in the top 10 in 10 laps. That was crazy. Like he was like
slicing and dicing, man.
He was like 2 to 3 miles an hour faster than the entire field all day. And if it was not for those issues on pit road, he would have probably had like a 5-second lead win, even though it was in overtime. So really crazy that he still manages to get fourth after all of that.
Yeah, which for both the Ford car and the 18 of Kyle Busch, really fast cars clawing their way up through the field. I mean, it's not a huge shock. We've seen this from Harvick. We've seen this from Kyle. You know, again, nothing new happened at Pocono yesterday. It's the same old, same old. The big three shined. However, we do have to give an honorable shout out to Hendrick Motorsports. Chase Elliott and Bowman, even Jimmy at one time, were competitive. Chase Elliott had the lead. A stage win, correct, right?
Yeah, he won stage 1. We saw last week. He won stage 2 at New Hampshire. So, really.
At a power track and a short track-ish. Yeah, so are they showing progress, or was it pitch strategy? Who knows, but congratulations to them for actually trying. All Hendrick cars, except for the 24, are currently in the playoffs. Not by much, but hey, they are in and could win the championship.
Yes, because the big three could lose a championship right now. Because let's say if Chase was to somehow make it to Homestead and uses pit strategy and wins, doesn't even have to win. He can finish second. It's not happening, but you got to give them hope.
Because what else does anyone have at this point?
Well, you know, when you look at the big three right now, we have Kevin Harvick's team is like probably the fastest and they can execute the most. They're the best team by speed, and Kyle Busch's team is like the best team by pit road strategy, and Truex's is like the best team when it comes to just strategy overall. So those three things could happen at Homestead, because we saw like it at Sonoma, Truex won by strategy. We saw at Chicagoland, Kyle Busch won with pit strategy.
And then we saw at Vegas, Atlanta, everywhere else basically. Just Harvick, such a fast car. However, you know, don't talk about speed and not talk about the 78.
Yeah, that's
Montana, true. Michigan, those fast tracks where, you know, have to have a lot of ponies. Even Kyle Busch Pocono, really fast track. One track that they should have a restricted plate, unlike the rest of the calendar. But yeah, so all three of these cars in the big three really have the speed to do whatever, to win the championship. They could. Keep in mind, though, that the fastest car has not won the championship a few times now. So, you know, I love to use this 2016, the fastest cars, Carl Edwards and Kyle Busch up there. Caution comes out, and Jimmy Johnson, who was in the back of the Ford Olmsted, wins. So anything's possible. It's not over until the checkered flag at Homestead, but who knows? Either way, it's probably going to be the big three who wins.
Yeah, when you think about it, though, because like this year we have like the stage points, playoff point stuff. They're going to make it to Homestead anyway. You know, they're trying to hype it up.
Yeah.
The Roval could shake things up. They're already safe in the first round. They're already safe. Like, if you have the more points you have in the playoffs, the further you go, the safer you are, because there's less people.
Yeah. As it currently stands, first, second, and third in points, Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick, Mark Truex Jr. Their playoff points are 35, 33, and 26. In fourth place, Clint Boyer, he has 10. Not even fair, man, at this point. It's just not. These three are so far ahead in everything, in performance, and speed, and in points. So, it wins.
Yeah, it's crazy that Austin Dillon has more playoff points right now than most of the field. just because Kevin Harvick, Kyle Busch, and Truex has just took him off of everyone.
Eric Jones has more points than the rest of the field. It's crazy.
Austin Dillon has more playoff points than a 7-time champion.
Yeah.
Just think about that.
I don't want to think about that.
Let's not think about that. Let's go home.
Either way, yeah. Either way, though, had at this past race, we had a problem on pit road. Harvick actually changed out his pit crew, and they were competing on pit road with Kyle Busch. Had a fantastic day for them, really. However, his teammate, the 10 car of Eric Almirola, would make collision with him on pit road, kill his time, and that would take him out of the, I wouldn't say the race. He would claw his way back up the field again and get fourth. However, the top situation to win the race.
Yeah, if we would have had another overtime, though, he would have probably still won, being up in fourth. So that raw speed, because that was only like 30 laps that he made it back to fourth.
Yeah.
So it's really crazy.
Who knows what could have happened? Yeah.
But next week we go to Watkins Glen. It is a place that we could see a new winner, but we probably won't.
No, probably won't. Aero and front end geometry, turning. I mean, who else except for the 78, the 4, and the 18, right? So, all of them have gotten a win here, though, previously at Watkins Glen. So, it could happen. Traveling to a road course, last time we went to a road course was Sonoma, and Truex would win with Kevin Harvick in second. So
the last 2 road courses Martin Truex has won. So
exactly.
Truex will
and
probably
the last
win again.
4, Truex or Harvick has won. So
wow.
Take that.
In terms of people that could beat the big 3, well, you got that's it. I mean, well, you have AJ. He has a okay shot, but with him, he tends to drive it too hard sometimes. We saw like at Sonoma, he just blew it up trying to get back through the field. So
yeah,
that's probably going to happen again.
It could happen. I like the chances of the 14 car Clint Boyer.
Yeah.
Last year, he got P2 at Sonoma, mind you. However, has the same car as Kevin Harvick. He's a good driver. He could make some noise at a road course. Who knows? So.
But in terms of who do you think will win, who do you think is actually going to... which of the big 3 do you think is going to win this weekend?
Eeny, meeny, miny, or mo. Well, hey, we had in the 90s, we had Jeff Gordon winning every road course race for 5 years in a row. Spectacular. He was fantastic there. Only really Jeff Gordon and Tony Stewart have ever dominated a road course scene before. Until now, I'm going to go with Martin Truex Jr. in the 78 car. Last time we went to a road course, he won, and the time before that, at Watkins Glen, he won as well. He is 2 for 3 so far on the past couple road course races in these past 2 years. So, I see him going to victory lane there at Watkins Glen.
Well, that is a good pick, but my pick's better. I'm going with Landon Castle. No, kidding. I could go.
Was he even at Pocono?
Yeah,
Landon Castle?
I believe so.
Oh.
He was there in spirit, at least. We have.
Did he have a car? Was he driving? Was he sleeping?
He was driving the invisible boatmobile.
Was he eating chili or pizza?
I believe it was pizza. Yeah.
Okay.
The infield pizza at Pocono is really good, even though I've never been there, but it's still pretty good.
Like the hot dogs at Martinsville.
Yeah. Try Pocono's pizza. Yeah, I'm going to go with the 4. I mean, there's no reason not to. I mean, you know, while you was making your pick, I was like, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Yeah, 4.
Yeah.
I mean, I expect Kyle to be really good there as well. But I think Truex and Harvick just have this insane cars, insane talent at these road courses that either one of those guys are going to win.
Yeah. I could see that for sure. So, you know, I mean, hey, Harvick himself is a great road course racer. He won at Sonoma in the 20. Actually, I'm sorry. He won at the Glen in the 29 car way back in the day. Back when Richard Childress did not believe in having a good car. So, which I mean, currently, he still doesn't believe in that now. But he's got some talent. And Martin Truex Jr., his first win ever with the 56 car way back in the day at MWR, came at Sonoma, proving to be a good road course racer. So, currently in the sport, you know, Gordon retired, Tony Stewart retired. I believe our 2 best drivers that we have now at road courses possibly could be Kevin Harvick and Martin Truex Jr.
Yeah, and what I thought was interesting by our picks, we made the same exact picks, but we flipped them for Watkins Glen as we did for Sonoma. So, that's pretty cool there. But again, I shouldn't have to remind you guys. Look out for the 4. Look out for the 78. Also, be aware that there is an 18 car that's very hungry for another win. Oh yeah, that's the big 3, isn't it? Oops, my bad. So,
that's a coincidence.
So we're talking about the big 3. Who is the little 3 right now?
Oh, that would be Bowman, Jimmy, and Chase Elliott. Capable of making some noise. Chase Elliott, he's improving, but he's not getting results. He's like Mark Martin. He leads laps, has a great race, and doesn't win. He could get his first win soon. Probably not at Watkins Glen. He's not that great of a road course driver. However, hey, it's possible. Who knows? You know, he's really been close a lot of times. He's been robbed by Kyle Busch. He took his Halloween candy and laughed at him a couple times past 2 years. So,
did the crying motion that Kyle does.
Yeah, so who knows? Could see AJ, who is a road course racer, as we spoke about before. We could see Danica come back. Who knows? I don't know. It's hard to count against the big 3 right now.
Yeah, I think realistically, Danica is a good pick. I think Penske could be there at Watkins Glen.
Could be.
Blaney, Brad, Joey, AJ could be there, like you said, and maybe some of the other guys at Gibbs, like Denny, maybe Suarez. We saw Suarez win a stage last year, so I believe it was a stage win, wasn't it? Or close to a stage win, something like that.
I believe so, yes.
So we could see that, but I don't think it's really possible unless the big 3 just take each other out.
Yeah. Which we have seen happen, though, last year at the Brickyard.
Yeah.
So, who knows? But
before they were the big 3.
Yeah, well, it was the big 2.
It was the big 1, actually.
With Truex in the 18. Basically, it's the same thing as last year, just add on Kevin Harvick's progress at Stewart Haas with Ford, you know, basically, and Clint Boyd, to be honest, but he's not, you know. But make sure to keep an eye out for the 78, the 4, and, yeah, the 18. But we do have to make an announcement. Well, not an announcement, but we would like to discuss school's coming up. Yay.
Yay.
And it's back to not consistent schedules, which, I mean, we currently have that now as is. It's getting harder and harder to record these due to time constraints, due to the sun, moon, and stars. Podcasts may not be coming out at a consistent speed, a consistent time. However, we will try our very best to keep them coming. No promises, but we will try.
Yeah, it's been really difficult, but we're still going to try to at least get the season through. So we're getting there, and we're very unfortunate that we couldn't get New Hampshire out. But I had like summer classes and had to do a lot of final stuff for that. So
yeah,
very unfortunate for that. But
vacation as well, and just whole other things that are happening. So we shall try, though. It sure would help to make content if it wasn't the same 3 people winning every other week. But yeah, please, Jimbo, please, we need you to dominate again. But that is it, I believe. So
yeah, this is Incredicast signing out. We might see you next week. We don't know. But we'll
goodbye forever.
Goodbye. We're never coming back.